friends, do you love eating pizza with that extra cheese burst? I am sure you all love it, and why not? It's so creamy and absolutely melts when you put it inside your mouth. But do you know how this cheese is made of? Come, in this video, let me tell you how is this formed. From cow to curd, there are many steps along the way to make the cheese we all know and love. In this video, let me tell you about the easiest method you need to follow while making cheese. The nicer and the fresher the milk you use, the more delicious your cheese will be. To warm the milk, you can transfer it from the fridge into a large pot and warm it slowly on the gas. There are many ways to make cheese, but the most important way is how you acidify the milk. One way is to dump vinegar or citric acid right into the milk to get the correct acidity. The other way is to add cultures or living bacteria. Giving time, warmth and lack of competitor bacteria, these cultures will eat up the lactose in the milk, turning it into lactic acid. An enzyme called rennet is also added. It helps the milk to coagulate or thicken into clumps. Mix the coagulant into the liquid milk and wait until solid curd forms. The liquid byproduct that remains is known as whey. When you have given the rennet enough time to work on the proteins in the milk will transform from a liquid into a gel. You can test the doneness of the gel by pressing onto the surface of the milk and following the next step. Well, the next step is to cut the curd down from a giant blob into smaller cubes or chunks. You can do this with a knife. The size to which you cut the curds will dramatically affect the amount of moisture retained in your final cheese. The smaller the initial pieces, the drier the cheese will be. Stir, cook, and wash the curd. For the next several minutes or even an hour, you have to stir the curds in the vat. During this phase, the acid will develop inside the curd and will dry out. The more you cook and the more you stir, the drier your cheese will be. Washing is the process of removing some of the whey from the vat and replacing it with water. This creates a milder, sweeter, more elastic cheese and cheese paste. Finally, it's time to separate the curds from the whey. Children, you might do this either by simply dumping the contents of the pot into a colander in a sink, or wait 10 minutes to let the curd settle to the bottom. You can then press the curd together at the bottom of the pot before bringing them up and out of the pot in chunks. The curd is now beginning to look more like cheese in its final form. To add flavor, add salt or brine the cheese at this point. This can either involve sprinkling on dry salt or submerging the cheese into brine. There are no more ingredients to add to the cheese at this point, so it's ready to be shaped. This is where the final product really begins to reveal itself. Even with so much moisture removed from the curd, it is still malleable and soft. So you will be able to press the curd into molds to create standardized shapes. For some cheeses, the process is already finished, but for many cheeses, what's known is that the aging remains. Aging should occur in a controlled, cool environment. As the cheese ages, it gets hardened and the flavor tends to intensify. Once the cheese has finished aging, it is finally ready to be enjoyed. And do you know what is the best part of making cheese? When you know how much time, effort and care went into making your favorite cheese, it's likely to taste even more delicious. Trust me. So kids, why don't you try it out today? And let us know how tasty it was in the comments below. We will be back with super exciting video. Till then, say cheese and make one.